Good day, doctor. Thank you for your time. Today I will present my research on the impact of shareholder structure diversity on ESG, and I walk you through the introduction, crucial review, methodology, and conclusion and recommendations. Okay, now let's begin by discussing the research background to set the stage for this study. ESG stands for Environmental, Social, and Governance. It has become a key part of corporate governance around the world. This is because businesses need to include sustainability in their plans to create long-term value. So two articles can help us understand this better. The first article looks at broad characteristics like size, independence, and diversity. It studies how these traits affect the connection between ESG disclosure and financial performance. It shows that governance structures help improve transparency and accountability in organizations. And the second article looks at governance mechanisms, especially sustainability committees. It studies how these committees help align ESG practices with organizational goals. This helps companies perform better and become more resilient. And now I will talk about Article 1. This article looks at how board characteristics like size, independence, and diversity affect the link between ESG disclosure and financial performance. This is about companies in Saudi Arabia, where governance systems are still developing. This study says that ESG disclosures can help improve financial performance, but this depends on how the board is and set up and how it works. And then I will talk about Article 2. This study examines the role of governance mechanisms, particularly sustainability committees, in improving ESG performance. It explores how internal governance structures align organizational strategies with sustainability objectives, leading to better ESG outcomes and financial resilience. The study underscores the significance of integrating governance strategies with sustainability goals to enhance long-term organizational performance, with a focus on companies operating in diverse regulatory and economic contexts. And then comes to the problem statement and research objectives. As for the Article 1, this research focuses on examining the impact of ESG disclosure on financial performance in Saudi Arabian companies, analyzing metrics like ROA, ROE, and EPS. It also investigates how board characteristics such as ownership, size, and independence moderate this relationship. And finally, it aims to offer recommendations for policymakers and corporate governance practitioners to enhance ESG practice and board governance for improved financial outcomes, aligning with Saudi Arabia's economic transformation goals. And as for the Article 2, the study highlights the need to investigate how governance mechanisms like sustainability committees influence ESG practices, alignment with stakeholder expectations, and organizational objectives. Although ESG integration positively impacts process and outcomes, there remains limited research on the specific role sustainability committees play as moderators in the relationship. So, this research examines the long-term impact of corporate sustainability on performance and explores its role in shaping organizational process, and compares the performance and the practices of high sustainability and low sustainability firms. And then I like to share the research questions and objectives of my study, which focuses on how shareholder structure diversity and sustainability influence ESG performance in public listed companies. So the first question is, How does shareholder structure diversity influence ESG performance in publicly listed companies? And the objective of that is to understand the direct impact of shareholder structure diversity on ESG performance, as this is an area that hasn't fully explored in previous studies. And the second is, what is the role of sustainability committees in shaping ESG developing? And the objective of that is to explore how sustainability committees contribute to ESG alignment and performance, but offering a sharper and more specific focus compared to general governance mechanisms. So this study builds on ideas from earlier research by bringing together insights from corporate governance and ESG. By doing so, it provides a more comprehensive view of how governance structures affect ESG outcomes. And now let's look at the crucial review to build a strong foundation for this study. The first article uses legitimacy theory. This theory says that ESG disclosures are important for building trust and increasing transparency. It implies that companies can align their actions with society's expectations to reduce information gaps and improve relationships with stakeholders. But this article does not focus much on other governance mechanisms like sustainability, which could make ESG disclosures even more effective. And the second article uses institutional theory and resource-based view. Institutional theory shows how sustainability committees help organizations respond to outside pressures, and RBV explains that sustainability committees are a special resource that give companies an advantage by improving ESG implementation. But this article only used data from 1993 to 2019, which does not address newer ESG challenges like climate change and diversity. So to fill these gaps, the study uses dynamic capabilities theory. This theory explains how companies can adapt their ESG strategies when environments or stakeholders needs change. So it focuses on how companies combine, develop, and reorganize skills and resources to stay effective. This framework helps examine how sustainability improves ESG performance. And understanding the approaches used in previous studies is essential for shaping a comprehensive research design. By integrating and building upon these methodologies, my study aims to address gaps and provide deeper insights into the governance and ESG relationship. So the first article used SPS as software for regression analysis. It looks at how board characteristics like size, independence, and diversity influence the relationship between ESG disclosure and financial performance. This method provided clear and valuable insights into governance frameworks. On the other hand, the second article used a matched pairs design combined with structural equation modeling. It focused on the impact of governance mechanisms like sustainability committees on ESG performance. By using data over a long period, it showed how ESG practices evolve and change over time. So building on these approaches, my research combines the strengths of both methodologies while tailoring them to the specific context of this study. So for my study, I decided to use partial least squares structural equation modeling as the main article analytical tool. This method works well for exploring complex relationships in governance and ESG. It helps examine both direct effects such as how shareholder structure diversity impacts ESG performance and moderating effects like the role of sustainability committees. And the data for my study comes from 100 publicly listed companies in China over a 10-year period. From 2015 to 2025, this time frame is important because it captures recent trends and changes in ESG practices within China's fast-changing corporate environment. To make the analysis more reliable and accurate, I included descriptive statistics and conducted robustness checks throughout the process. So, by integrating these contemporary approaches and leveraging a strength of platform, my research design is well positioned to address the complex dynamics of governance, mechanism, and ESG performance. To conclude, let us summarize the key findings of the study and provide actionable recommendations for companies to improve their ESG performance. This research shows that governance mechanisms, especially sustainability committees, are very important for improving ESG performance and building financial resilience. When these committees work with strong board characteristics like size, independence, and diversity, they make sure ESG strategies are carried out effectively. They provide oversight and align ESG goals with organizational objectives. These governance mechanisms help companies stay sustainable in a complex and changing environment. And to address the challenges identified and improve ESG performance, companies can focus on practical actions that strengthen their governance structures and strategies. These recommendations are designed to help firms better align with their ESG efforts with shareholder expectations while enhancing overall organizational effectiveness. So the first is to establish or enhance sustainability committees. Companies should start by improving sustainability committees. These committees should have members with a variety of skills in sustainability. In this way, they can bring in different ideas or knowledge to help with decision making. And second, encourage balanced shareholder structures. Firms should work on attracting institutional, foreign, and state-owned investors. A balanced shareholder structure can bring different perspectives into decisions. This helps improve ESG strategies and ensures they align better with stakeholder needs. And third, invest in training programs. Companies should provide training programs for both board members and sustainability committees. These programs should focus on teaching skills and knowledge needed to deal with ESG challenges. It should also help participants learn how to adjust their strategies when markets change. And finally, leverage advanced data analysis tools. Firms should make use of tools like PLASM to analyze how governance mechanisms are and shareholder structures affect ESG performance. These tools can give companies deeper insights and help them create better strategies. So that concludes my presentation for today. I hope my research provides new insights into ESG governance and inspire companies to advance their sustainability efforts. And thank you for your attention. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.